I left from Worcester about 25 minutes ago. There was reports down someone who could just talk about how many firemen have arrived at the scene. I'm not sure if it's still a 3-alarm fire at this point, and I don't want to send out any false information. But you're absolutely right. It's a pretty large smoky fire. From where I'm standing, I can't actually see like any large flames. But I'm gonna try a turn. You can kind of see. Eleanor, I'm unsure right now. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know, and I can't give any clear information about whether or not anybody's been evacuated, or. But you know, once I get those details, I'll make sure that I pass them through. I'm not sure if you folks can see now because it's kind of obscured by the tree, but it actually looks like one of the side walls on the structure over here. It almost looks like you could see completely through it. I know you folks can't see it as well right now, but from the direction I'm looking, it looks like this entire wall for this part of the building has just been like completely burned off. And you can actually like see into the building now. Tammy, this is on Mountain Road. I haven't been able to get a clarification on the number yet. There was earlier reports that it was 30 Mountain Road, but we can't be 100% sure right now. But if I get any update on that, I will let you know. The alert for the fire on the scanner went out about 50 minutes ago. And at that point, it had been reported that it was a 3-alarm fire. So I don't know at the earliest when the fire department actually arrived or when the fire started. Yeah, I haven't seen any other parts of the building on fire. This is about as close as we can really get. But what we have seen is this main area on the roof over here has seen most of the fire. Hey Chris, I would want to go around where you're talking, but it's getting a little too close to where the fire trucks are trying to do some water, so I just want to make sure that I don't get in the way over here. Do you know what number this is? Okay. We got one firefighter who thinks it's 30. Yeah, Bob, there sure are a lot of fire trucks. I try and move over, and you could possibly see down the road just how many fire trucks there are. I don't know if you can see the lights over here, but the fire trucks kind of go over here, and then they actually go much farther down the road. I don't know if you folks can see on your feed, but you can actually sort of see the front of the house over here. There's some windows where my finger's pointing. That looks to be like a second floor. Here, I'm gonna try to move behind this tree. So that'll hopefully help you better see the front of the vehicle. Or the front of the house, rather. So, from what I can see, it looks like the fire seemed to really have eaten up this this part of the house over here. This part actually looks mostly intact. Yeah, I mean, part of the issue too is just, you know, this is a very steep hill mountain road. It's really steep, and they have to pile on, you know, so many fire trucks. And it even looks like the fire trucks are going up further up the road over here. Yeah, it looks like a pretty large structure. Parts of it in the middle here are still ablaze. Actually, actually it seems to be this smoking part on the left over here seems to be where like the fire's really like located. Actually, now that some of the smoke is starting to clear, I can tell that the fire has mostly affected this sort of top part. This bottom part's sort of like made out of stone and such. It looks like the second floor got eaten up really, really badly. Yeah, we got some wind coming through now, which is actually looks like it's blowing away a lot of the smoke. So hopefully that'll allow you folks to see sort of a clearer picture of what's going on over here. Alright, it looks like the area over here is kind of clear. I'm going to head over and see if we can maybe find the correct address of this place, although it seems like we're pretty sure that's 30 Mountain, but just so we can make sure. And there you go, 30 Mountain Road. Yeah, Bob, and I don't want to speculate about how much damage has been done to the building, but as you can see, the main part over here actually doesn't look too badly damaged. I have no clue what it looks like inside. The second half, on the other hand, the second floor of it just looks totally charred up. And firefighters are still, you know, hitting it with as much water as they can. Yeah, it looks like there's still some pretty stubborn flames left up on the second floor. Earlier when I was coming up, I could hear a lot of the firefighters just breaking through a lot of the windows here, which they do to sort of let air, you know, like let the fire be exposed to some of the colder air, I believe. But they have smashed through a lot of the windows. I'm going to try to flag down the state marshal, the state fire marshal I was walking around, to see if we can get some questions answered about whether or not anybody was in the building and sort of what purpose or what the building was for. I'd heard that it was a historical inn, but I haven't been able to confirm that yet. And Tony, I'm not sure who owns the building, or whose towers those are. I'm not sure. In terms of the fire departments here, I've seen Rutland, Westminster, Princeton. I've also seen Hubbardston and Berlin. Alright, I'm going to see if I can just sort of like get behind this other tree line here. Hey, and thank you everybody for sharing the video and for your reactions and comments. Hopefully later on in the day we'll be putting together an article, and we'll try to just kind of piece together the details of what happened here. But your questions and comments are really, really helpful, so please continue to send them in. Kelly, thank you for pointing out that factoid. Hopefully, we'll be able to confirm that later on. Dana and Bob, thank you so much for joining us. Dana all the way from San Antonio, Texas. Thank you. Bob from New London, New Hampshire. Kathy, this is 30 Mountain Road, according to one of the stones that's parked out front of the building. Yep. Yeah, and if you go on like Google View, you can actually see the building if you type in 27 Mountain Road, I believe, and it might be able to give you a look of what the building used to look like prior to the fire. Yeah, they're really starting to pour the fire down on that this sort of left part of the building here. They've actually got two hoses. You can kind of see the lines emanating from the hoses. Robert, I'm not sure about whether or not there was anybody in the house, whether or not anybody has been injured. I'm trying to flag down someone who might be able to speak and just let us know what was going on. Move out of the way here so you can sort of see just some more details of the building. Yeah, Renee, it's a little early to tell what the cause of the fire might have been, but that is just something that we are going to try to figure out. Just saw the Rutland Fire Chief walking by. Christopher, we arrived here around 7 o'clock. I saw reports that the fire had started around 6:30. It's 8:30 now. Michelle, this is 30 Mountain Road. And I'm just trying to flag down somebody. I know the state fire marshal is walking around. It looks like a second hose is being deployed over here. Yeah, the rain's starting to come down in Princeton now. Feeling a couple of raindrops. Yeah, Dana, I'm not sure exactly. Some like water carrying vehicles that have been driven up Mountain Road, and actually I'm going to turn over here. You can see water is being dumped into this pool. And to Kevin's point, I haven't seen any hydrants on the road. So it's very likely that they might be drafting water to put out the fire. They've sort of got this set up over here where they've been pouring water into, and I believe that's been feeding into a lot. Oh, hey, okay, we're back. Sorry for the technical issues there, folks. But it looks like our stream is back. Thank you for sticking with us and joining us. Here, for anybody wondering how they're getting water up Mountain Road, you can actually see a huge tanker coming in now. I'll try to get a little bit closer. Do have to be careful because apparently if we move around too much we might lose our connection. So here, and hopefully this will show how they're bringing the water up the mountain. Thank you once again to everybody sharing the video. Check back with MassLive.com later in the day, and we will have a story about the fire, and we'll see how many details we can find about how this thing got started. Yeah, Janice, we're still not sure whether there was anybody in the house, and it's unclear. Well, a lot of things are unclear right now, and we don't want to speculate. I have been trying to flag down the state fire marshal to see if we can get some more information about what happened, and hopefully we can figure out who was in the house. As you can see right now, for anybody who just joined, it's really the second part of this house on this side that's been most heavily affected. This front part of the house seems to be alright. We are on 30 Mountain Road. We've been at the scene since around 7:30. Or actually it might have been more around 8. Well, thank you, Christopher, and thank you for everybody else who's joining and commenting. If you have any questions, let us know, and we'll see if we can get them answered. If not now, we can get them answered later in the day when we manage to flag someone. And looks like the smoke is really starting to clear up over here, and you can sort of get a much better look at what's going on at the house. Yeah, it looks like the flames are really dying down in the middle section here. I know you folks can't see it too well because it's pretty obscured by the smoke, but what remains of the fire is taking place like right here where these two parts of the house meet. Mike, we're at the scene of 30 Mountain Road in Princeton, where firefighters have been trying to fight this home fire for a couple hours now. I'm gonna try and move the angle over here. Yep, thank you for sharing that, Noah. To Monica and Mike, gentleman by the name of Brendan had commented earlier that the folks had made it out upon arrival, although I haven't been able to confirm with any fire officials any details about victims in the house. When we are able to flag somebody down, we will see if we can find out if anybody was in the house, and if so, when were they evacuated, what kind of injuries they might have sustained. And I know you folks really can't tell, but from what I'm looking at, it looks like the roof off of the house has been completely burned off. The roof would start over here, and then from this section on, it's just been completely burned off. And the firefighters are really still working on trying to take out that middle section of the roof, and you can actually see the flames sort of sparking up by it. That's part of the fire that they still haven't been able to put out. Yeah, Jim, we've been seeing tankers coming up Mountain Road all day, and we haven't been able to see if there's any fire hydrants. It really looks like they are driving up. and you know, having to deliver water tankers. Yeah, Bob, I don't think there are any fire hydrants around here, and you know, it looks like the fire department has been driving up tankers. And actually here, I'll turn around, they're actually filling this little cage over here that they've been feeding all the hoses into. They're setting up a couple more hoses. And they've just been pretty much driving tankers and dumping water all day. Actually, it looks like they're setting up a third cage. Yes, Nikki, they are detouring traffic. If you try to come up Mountain Road, you'll probably be sent, sort of take a right turn like next to the Princeton library. I'm gonna try to turn around. And you can just see like how much water they're pouring on this thing. I mean, the water's sort of just cascading down the roof into that one middle section over here where the two parts meet. And that's sort of been like the last stubborn part of the fire that they've been trying to put out. Earlier in the video, this sort of second piece over here was where the fire was mainly located. It looks like this part of the house doesn't seem too badly touched, although you can sort of see the attic windows. They look a little burned down. They actually look like they've been smashed out by the fire department. So it looks like this sort of left part of the house was the part that was most heavily affected. Yeah, that center part of the fire is still really sparking up. I think you can see part of what makes this so difficult is that they have to continuously sort of replace these cages that they're filling with water because there's no hydrants on the road, so they have to keep on driving tankers, and it looks like they're not able to kind of keep a consistent line of water like on the fire, so the center part keeps on sparking up. Actually, now that the smoke is kind of going away, we can kind of see more details of the house. And you can definitely tell that this left part over here was the part most heavily affected. Yeah, Tony, there are tons of fire departments here. We've got Westminster, Rutland, tankers. I definitely saw a tanker from Berlin. Ashburnham has a vehicle with a hose running over here. Now, Jim, I can't be sure if it's a garage, and actually looking at that side of the wall, it actually looks like it's made out of rock. I'm not sure if that's a garage. but it is kind of being obscured by the fire department truck. Yeah, Monica, thank you and thank you to everybody else who's watching and sharing and commenting on the video. I encourage you to send in questions and comments. Anything we can't find out on the live stream, we will follow up with a fire marshal or chief and try to figure out more details about what happened, if those details are available. Wow, and you can really see that corner of the roof just sparking up there in the middle. But it looks like they've been able to reactivate the hose. So that's good. It looks like they're going to be able to put some more water on that part of the fire. I mean, you could sort of like see, you know, the firefighters sort of beating down on the fire with the water, and just how much water it takes to put out something that hot. I mean, they've been hitting this one corner of the roof for like a straight like 10-15 minutes now, it seems, and it just still won't go out.
Are we okay over here? I'm not in charge.
How far from the ski mountain, Monica? I don't know. No, Princeton is not the only fire department out here. We've got fire departments from all over Worcester County here. If they haven't brought fire trucks, there's definitely tankers from different departments. Bob, I'm not sure if there are any firefighters inside. I see like a Fitchburg engine just pulled up. Yeah, Valerie, we're still not completely sure. There were some people commenting earlier that folks had been in the home and that they were evacuated once firefighters arrived, but we're still not completely sure. If there's there's a fire chief or someone who's available to say if anybody was in the house. A lot of people
were home. That's all I can tell you.
A lot of people are just asking like if anybody.
They were home.
Yeah, and it is a residential.
Yep.
Okay.
It has to be an old inn.
Yep.
Who do you have to service here?
I'm using a wireless signal. Yeah.
All right. Good. Every time I try to jump on Periscope, it says signal too low here.
Are you with one of the fire departments, or are you?
I'm on Lemon Street. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the folks were in the home, but were they okay, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
The owner's walking around, actually. So.
Oh, the owner's here. And do you know how long ago the fire started?
Oh, about just before 6 a.m. maybe.
Just before 6 a.m. I assume that these are their vehicles over here.
Yep.
Yep.
Are you Vital 12?
I'm Verizon.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know your patent? Can I use it a second or no? If you don't, no, don't. If it's not like, oh yeah, it's just this. Nah. No, it's all right.
Yeah, so folks, if you just if you were kind of overhearing there, we just heard from Leominster, someone who works for the Leominster Fire Department, that the owners were inside. They were evacuated. The fire started just before 6 a.m. and apparently the owner of the house is actually walking around. So as far as I can tell, it does appear that those who were in the fire are safe. But you know, all we really heard about was the owner. We're not sure about anybody else, but that does clear up a couple details. So we are talking about a residential fire here. The building was a former inn. We can confirm with at least one firefighter from Leominster. If the owner of the house is walking around, I will try to, you know, maybe have a conversation with them. We'll see. I'm gonna try to pull away from the fire here. Yeah, Paul, and it looks like our internet connection isn't doing too well, so. Yeah, and one of the big issues with this fire that we've seen is just the issues with keeping a consistent stream of water, because there are no fire hydrants on the road, so they've been having to bring in tankers. You can actually see them dumping water in these pens right now, and so this is sort of where all the water is coming. The hoses are sort of feeding back into the engine. Yep, looks like Bolton's got an engine up here as well. Sterling, Leominster, Princeton, Rutland. Yeah, you know, it's actually unfortunate because it looks like parts of the fire that had been cleaned up earlier in the day, like on this left side of the house, sparks over here and over here appeared to have been like put out, but it looks like they're actually starting to spark up again. And I could actually see flames coming out from the inside of the house from one of the windows. You can see a little piece of the house over here, like this structure is just completely destroyed. Yeah, Matt, this used to be an old inn. Yeah, it looks like it was a really, really beautiful house. Well, it looks like the firefighters have been delivered some coffee and donuts, which is good. It's pretty cold out here. And this fire's been going on since before 6 a.m., so they've been out here a pretty long time. And once again, just the challenge of having to drive up tankers up here so the firefighters can have a consistent stream of water. While we're out here, one of the firefighters did let us know that the owners of the house have been evacuated. They were evacuated earlier, and they're actually walking around. Everyone appears to be okay. I am going to try to flag them down if we can find them, and just see if they can tell us a little bit about what happened. Here, I'm going to turn over here. If you look at the center window, you can actually see some of the fire is still actually emanating from inside the house. Here, it looks like some of the firefighters are going to try to shoot directly into the window over here. Looks like they were able to put out that window fire pretty easily. Both of those window fires, actually. And I mean, just look at this. You've got maybe 4 hoses hitting this fire at once. I mean, it's pretty impressive. Tony, no, there are a couple of other news crews here. They're a little further back. I'm not sure how many other news crews there are. I mean, just to give you an idea of how thick this smoke is, I mean, you can't even see, you know, like past this area of the house. It's just thick. It looks like that corner area of the house, the fire that they've been trying to beat down on has actually been being close to being put out. Once again, thank you to everybody sharing the video. Your questions and comments are really helpful, so please feel free to continue sending them over. Any questions you send, we can try to get answered later on in the day. And just make sure that you do return to MassLive.com to get the full story on what's going on here. Looks like we might be able to get a little bit closer. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to try to head around the other side of the house to see if we can get an alternate angle. There are actually still some pieces of the house that are on fire, but you can't really see them from this angle. And I mean, this also just gives you an idea of just like the large response that's going on here. There are a lot of community fire departments around here. All right. Yeah, we heard earlier from a Leominster Fire Department that this house used to be a historical inn. Is this your home? No. Or just neighbors? Okay. Oh, here you go. There's some action going on here behind the house. Let's take a look. Oh, wow. Okay, here you go. You can see the back of the house. And wow, that really brings into perspective how much damage was done to the side of the house. Look at that. Thank you once again to everybody sharing the video and watching, giving us your questions and comments. Should give you an idea as well, kind of back around here, and you can kind of see the view of this house. Karen, we don't know how the fire started yet. It's a little too early to tell. But that is something we're going to follow up with the fire departments and see what we can find out. gonna keep on trying to go around. And folks, just to give you a heads up, maybe having to turn off our stream soon. We're just trying to get a little low on battery. But we do want to let you know that we'd like you to return to MassLive.com later on in the day to see our follow-up story on this really tragic fire here in